What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Ridin Dad channel video, or welcome if it's your first time. Either way, very glad to have you. We're finally getting around to whether or not I have figured out the buffeting issue, what my current go-to setup is now with this Memphis Shades fairing, and let's roll the intro and get right into it.
Ridin Dad YouTube channel, it's the Ridin Dad YouTube channel, it's the Ridin Dad YouTube channel, it's the Ridin Dad.
All right, so right now you might notice that there is no windshield on it, and that is because my ideal setup for this fairing is no fairing at all. Let's put this down and I'll explain everything. All right, guys, so I tried it with my Arai, I tried it with my Scorpion, XO R1 or R1 XO Air, whatever the Scorpion I've reviewed. I've tried it with my Shoei. I've tried it with my Ruroc. I've tried it with many different helmets. I've tried it in every position I could possibly get out of this, all the way forward, leaning wise, all the way forward, all the way back, leaning forward, leaning back, up, down. I tried it without the light. I tried it with a 7-inch, an 11-inch, and a 13-inch vented windshield. I taped up the holes in the vent for the windshields to see if that would fix it as far as, closing up those holes. What I have figured out for me, the helmet choice didn't make a difference besides the Arai buffeted a little bit. My Shoei, Ruroc, and Scorpion all pretty much the same, so I just left my Shoei on since that is what I'm currently working on my long-term review of. But basically, the best option I had was the 7-inch, tilted all the way back to allow more air to hit me sooner. The problem I was getting with that was that a lot of buffeting was coming up from the underneath and the sides, and I found that out by putting my shoes up on the crash bar as close to the fairing that I could, and then most of the buffeting stopped. That was not the case with the other lengths of windshields and other setups. The other setups were truly coming from up top and not on the side. I did experiment, like I said, with putting my feet there and not. So I could leave the 7-inch on, but I'm still getting buffeting from beneath it, and that completely negates the whole point of this fairing. Now, those of you familiar with the build know that I have a Saddlemen Explorer seat with a optional backrest, and that backrest basically supports your entire upper half of your body. It's not even like the tiny backrest that's on the STC Pro. So I don't have to worry about the air pushing me back as much as I used to, and as cool as the fairing is, as nice as the quality is and everything like that, it's a no from me, dog. It's just a no. I am keeping the LP6 because this light is insanely bright and I love this light. I do, like I said, I like the way the Memphis Shades looked. It just, I don't know how you guys are getting it to work for you. I don't know if I'm just more sensitive to it, and for whatever reason I can just I don't know if I just feel it more than others or whatever, but I've tried multiple helmets. I have gotten buffeting on pretty much everything I've ever ridden with a windshield or fairing. So those of you who know my history, I've tried multiple different helmets on different bikes. Indian Challenger, buffeting on any of the for those of you who are familiar, at least with the model I rode, I don't know if it's a trim level thing or whatever, but the trim level of the Challenger I rode had an adjustable windshield. You could literally, just with a button all the way up or down, buffeting, middle, high, low, everything on there. Road Glide, Street Glide, buffeting. Memphis Shades, buffeting. Banks T-Sport, buffeting. FXRT fairing, buffeting. And I tried many different combinations with the windshields on the FXRT, and then I tried a lot of different stuff on the Banks T-Sport. So, coming to the same conclusion that I unfortunately have been since I tried the Banks, and fairings are just not for me. As much as I like the style and I like the look and everything, they're just not for me. I have always liked on motorcycles being more out in the open and being more exposed to stuff. So I've always liked a naked front end because you get more airflow, which is great for summer in Florida, or really anytime in Florida. But you get more airflow and you see more of the road, you see more space. It's just more open. It's more of a natural kind of I guess just a natural, just more of a motorcycle-y feeling to me. It's just kind of you in the road versus like having all this stuff in front of you and everything like that. So that brings me to the end of this. So this setup is okay. I will eventually be getting a new clutch cable. This is kind of the max for this clutch cable. Ideally, it would come up through there, not through this hole, and kind of loop around a little bit more. So I do want to get a new one that's not all cut up from me hitting stuff on it and everything, and that's why I have this gigantic kind of heat shrink on there to protect it. And then I eventually want to get a taller bag now that I have taller risers. I know they make a big, kind of thicker, taller bag, which would work out great. That way I can replace... or when I take the bags and the tour pack off, I can have, you know, spot for like a water bottle in there, wallet, keys, stuff like that, in this bigger bag. So I will be getting that in the future. But yeah, I even went as far with the Memphis shades. I know some guy was like, well, you have to put spacers in between the windshield and the fairing itself. That's what fixes all buffeting. And I said, well, it's got a vent in the windshield itself. I don't understand why that would make a difference, but I'm gonna exhaust all options. So I went to the hardware store, got some wing nuts, some longer screws, tried it, and it's just physically impossible to do that with that size for, like, it just doesn't fit in with there. So yeah, that's impossible. I don't know, I got about 3 screws in, 3 of the bolts in, and it just would not, the way, when you move the windshield forward, even using a very thin spacer, when you move the windshield forward of the fairing to put it in, the screw points move because the windshield is not flat, it's curved. So when you move it forward, your points move where you need to put the screws in the holes and everything, and it just doesn't add up. So to that guy, I don't know. I don't know how you manage to do it if you think you have a Memphis Shades Road Warrior and you actually have a Banks T-Sport or something like that. Very, very different. So it doesn't work at all. But yeah, I tried. I mean, I really think I gave this 100% fair shot. I tried 3 different windshields, different positions. I mean, I took this thing out. My neighbors must get so pissed off at me because I just keep coming off the main road, back to the house, main road, back to the house. This morning, even before I filmed this video, I did it about 4 more times to exhaust every single option that I could think of. And that's when I figured out the feet thing with the 7-inch one. But just still not worth it for me at all. I'm not gonna put something on just because it looks a little bit cooler. That's the whole reason I left the FXRT and sold that, because it just wasn't worth it at all. So that is my experience with this fairing. Unfortunately, it is for sale. So if you're seeing this video, I haven't posted it yet. I'll probably wait 2 or 3 days to post it, but it will come with all of the hardware. It is trimmed out. The ring is trimmed out to allow for an LP6, so it's not the stock whole plastic ring, you know, that comes out in the back, like the regular Road Warrior will come out about another, I don't know, about 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches of this plastic shroud to kind of sandwich in between with the headlight ring. But this is trimmed out. It's not sharp or anything like that, but it isn't super flat and professional. I just trimmed it with a box cutter, basically a razor blade, and cut it to get kind of smooth points, and it's not that big of a deal. This screw is stripped with the this piece, which I'm sure you could get a new hardware kit for Memphis Shades for a few bucks, but this piece is stripped, not the screw. So what I did and used my own screw, and these are only the only washers I had that would fit it, that kind of bridge the gap. Like I said, I could have done it more professionally, but wasn't planning on, you know, spending money on this if I wasn't going to keep it. So, but that works now. It works fine. It's just a different screw, and like I said, you can get a different hardware kit from Memphis. Super easy, I'm sure. Other than that, the thing is in great condition. I mean, it's less than 20, probably about 20 to 25 miles total on it, but it will come with all necessary hardware, and a 7-inch, 11-inch, and 13-inch vented windshield as well, all inclusive. I'm not splitting them up. I just want to sell it all. For whatever reason, if it goes a long time without being able to sell it, at that point, then I'll go ahead and split them up or sell the windshields or whatever. But as of right now, first few days of you guys seeing this video, it's just gonna go package deal, everything, one box, call it a day. Like I said, keeping the Memphis, or keeping the LP6 because I love this light. I don't know how I saw things at night without it. And then again, for those of you with the Memphis Shades, it will come with the clamps for the inverted front end. I'm pretty sure it's 49 millimeter forks, but they're adjustable. So I think they fit a few different ones. So yeah. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. You think I made a good decision? Do you have any clue as to why? I even went to like forums, research forums, Facebook groups and everything like that, and I see a lot of people having the same issue I am with this Memphis shades, and a lot of people are saying that, oh yeah, the fix is just put your feet up by the crash bar and that eliminates buffeting from the bottom, which yeah, it helps a lot, but why would you want to do that? Like when you don't have to and you could just ride without the fairing, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. Form over function, I guess, for those guys. For me, for this bike, function over form. Still trying to make a really nice looking bike, but you guys know this bike is all about performing and function and everything like that. That's what the whole club style is kind of after. All that being said, I really still like the Memphis Shades road wear. I think it is one of the cheapest, higher quality fairings you could get. It is a very nice price point for the windshields, so you can get different windshields at relatively cheap points and try them out and everything. I wish it did work for me. I don't know how it works for my two buddies that ride. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are, or let me know if I did. Oh, the other part of this. So you guys saw my initial install of the Baja Designs LP6 maybe, or should have, with the Cali Rays Moto bracket designed to fit the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing, but also kind of fit on its own. Originally, when I put this on by itself, it was very far out and very tilted down, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. And I'll go ahead and put a picture up if I can, or if I remember to even take one. I don't remember. But I went ahead and took this. Then I was sold on finally getting the Memphis Shades bracket off. What I did was take this piece off and leave the bracket down, and I grabbed some of my, I can't think of the name, tools, and basically just grabbed this and bent it. Had to take a lot of force to bend it, but bent this whole thing angled up. That way this could sit more towards the top triple tree mount and also a little bit higher up. My long-term goal is probably to get Cruci Originals has one of the, the top mount, eyebrow mount, like the Sportster and a lot of bikes come with, but they have that designed for, to fit an LP6, and I think that would really clean this up and make it look really sharp. So eventually I'll probably do that, but like everything good from Cruci Originals, they're sold out forever, and then they come back and they get sold out within like hours or days because everybody wants their stuff and they're a relatively small place and their stuff is good, so they sell out really quickly. So I'm on the email list for that, so hopefully that comes up soon, and I could put that eyebrow mount, the top mount on here and clean this up. But for now, bending that up, I do have to go over it with some touch-up paint. I did slip and managed to mar up and scratch that bottom mount, but is what it is. I'm not too worried about it because I could just spray paint it black or powder coat it black in the future or whatever I want to do. But yeah, so that is my bike as it sits. Memphis Shades Road Warrior is off, and I think that does it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Check out the links in the description. Get yourself some discounted items. Check out some playlists for the Lowrider S or the Sportster. A lot of cool stuff. Lot of cool stuff. That's really all I have to say. Instagram, TikTok, everything like that. Instagram is the easiest way to, go back and forth and have an actual conversation instead of just like a comment in the YouTube. But definitely please comment on the videos as well. Thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, turn on post notifications, all that, because it helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next time, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.